Hello, everybody. Welcome to Darkness in Dublin from Mage. The pagans of the Verbena have begun to call various people, summon various different heads of the traditions in Dublin itself. When everybody arrives, one by one, they are greeted with a small, out-of-the-way bookstore in the kind of north side of Dublin. It's, down one of the side alleys, so it's nice and far removed. You come in and it jingles. There's various ranges of books from everything from 8th century Ireland to BC to early century BC Samaria to late medieval Europe. You see Callie standing by the edge of a stairwell, leaning down. Her heavily scarred face kind of looks around at everybody. She leads you down to a basement, and what the basement looks like is there's a large table with several even more older books that are kept in various wrappings as well. They look like they're being specifically maybe examined, tested. There's various like inkwells and various other microscopes and all that. There's ranges of chairs, and probably on one of them would be Morgan, but Callie will kind of turn to all of you. There's tea, there's coffee, there's a whole wide range of things. She'll kind of turn and lean against one of the edges of the tables, watching you all come down one by one.
And because we know it's all a critical part of this process, Morgan has Pop-Tarts. She has a whole box of Pop-Tarts in front of her that she's slowly working through, because that is how she do with her fucking coffee. She'll bob her head to anyone who comes down. Each person as they come down, in fact.
Kevin has his normal fish and chips with malt vinegar. He looks a little confused just to be there, really.
This isn't a war of who can come in last. Watching you motherfuckers. Get in here.
All right. Jinx shows up in her whip, parks it outside, walks through the door. Waves at everybody. Love.
Yo.
Yeah. What are we doing here? What's happening?
Talking shit. What else?
Did somebody die? Did something blow up again?
Someone did die, actually.
Who died? Really? Who died?
We'll talk about it when everyone gets here.
God damn it.
I mean, we ain't the ones mad. Sideshow pretty pissed, though.
Damn.
Pats the table like, come on, buddy, take a seat.
She just looks. It's just like that dry, sarcastic life. Like, shit. She pops a seat. Sees the Pop-Tart. Asks for a Pop-Tart.
Morgan will, in fact, share her Pop-Tarts as long as she's asked first. You get, like, a strawberry Pop-Tart. That classic, like, it's got those shitty-ass sprinkle look on the frosting. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Classic.
Well, looks like I found my best friend for the evening. Eats Pop-Tart.
Tim, I'm assuming Sam and Lottie come in together?
Fuck it! Sure!
Which Sam we got today?
It's the regular one, so perpetual deer in headlights.
Perfect.
Sweet. So I'm guessing they're just gonna kind of walk towards the area, wave, walk down, look around. So what, this the place?
So.
Do you know why we're being called here? I don't think there's been anything yet. She's still hung up in Sideshow's place.
That's where she is?
Yeah, she decided to come with us when we went to see Sideshow. Sideshow had feelings. He actually had feelings. These were not good things. And then she got carted away. Pretty sure she's in a padded cell. Not
to
too sure.
my knowledge, Miss Kimura is still alive.
I said padded cell. That's at least, I didn't say he'd kill her. Because if he did, I'm pretty sure we would have heard the explosions.
Look, I don't think that she poses a particular danger to herself.
Other people, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Morgan grinning into her Pop-Tart, be like, I don't know. I think she's a danger to herself and others.
For the moment, she remains in Lord Sisho's custody.
Hey, better him than the technocrats.
I'll deal with that later. Okay.
I
Lottie
have
will
not
give Sam's arm a squeeze. Okay, he's okay.
dared.
Well, we'll worry about that after things like imminent war. Yeah?
Everybody seems to be mad.
I mean, I only give a fuck because, like, Yuki and I were friends. So, what's up with war? What's going on?
Your friend may or may not have flat out damned an innocent life. Just putting it out there.
Morgan, just say,
Which life? There are lots
that's
of
for
people
later.
who will die.
We do not have time.
All right. So, what's up?
Morgan will give... You know what? Morgan will, in fact, because she is that fucking sassy right now, we'll pull from her side, where it is not visible from over the table, pull out a cliche-ass, like, Halloween prop witch hat, plunk it on Callie's head, and be like, go on there, champ.
The witch's hat is real. I questioned it. But now
Wait,
I
what's
shall
being
know.
put on Callie's head right now? No, what's being put on someone's head? I just didn't hear what it was.
Pulls out a no shit like Halloween store witch's hat and plops it on Callie's head.
The one from Party City.
Yeah, the one from Party City. And fucking
Perf.
plops it on her head and is like, there you go, buddy. Essentially signs over the reins and sits back with her Pop-Tart, nibbling.
You're sassy today.
Callie just internally just takes the hat off and puts it like in her hat, like down on the table. Morgan and I called you here because we are planning an initiative on the Templars, the people they're holding.
Oh, bitchin', I had an idea for that too.
As did I.
Well, just look at both of them. Let's hear yours first before we tell you all of the stuff we've been doing, so we are all at least maybe on the same page.
Morgan will at the very least point to Sam and be like, she was with me on one part of it.
Thumbs up. So what I was thinking was, since they have a shit ton of hostages, right? It might be a good idea to, and she's gonna like hold up her two index fingers and like start to connect them together. Like, hit them from two different sides, one to take out the complex and another team to rescue the hostages.
Morgan will poke up a finger, kind of like may I interject style.
Sure.
For what it's worth. And it occurs to me, I probably should have gone through you. And she points over to Jinx. Glasspaw was close at hand when I was last anywhere near the fucking cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Told him to get his eye in there. So he has been running sims. He apparently didn't sleep for a good 2 days. At least he's dedicated. I told him I want a head count. I want to know how many lamenters are in that fucking church. I want him to know how many hostages are in that fucking church. I want a head count. So he's working on that.
Oh, I was well aware of that.
Thumbs up.
He asked me if I could help, and I was busy making a secure network to make sure that information can be funneled through a secure network. Because I don't know who's paying attention to me. But we'll get to that later. But my sort of plan was to see if we can somehow ensure that the people we're trying to rescue don't get caught in the crossfire. That would be super beneficial. I mean, we can go in there hard and loud, but collateral makes loud noises. Loud noises gets a lot of individuals' attention that we may or may not want.
Good call.
I could probably create a buffer signal. Not an absence of sound, but sound that sounds like nothing. If we wanted to do your plan, Sam, we could have used that to kind of protect the area so that they don't hear people leaving or people coming.
Or we could just phase them out.
True, but phasing, isn't that a lot of energy as well?
Not really, not for me.
I mean, if nothing else, noise that cancels noise means they don't hear all the gunfire and all the laser pew-pews.
And all the dead things.
Yeah, we don't need the media in on this.
Mm-hmm. I could probably start working on that if you like.
Get a glance around. I've been talking a lot of shit about wanting the old choristers to have a figurehead, and she kind of indicates Sam with a gesture. We did manage to get the Archbishop to plan to come back around and provide a rally point for his people, so they're organized and not scattered to the fucking wind. That's one more group working with us, and she points over to Kevin. I don't know. She kind of glances among them. Hey Sam, you know that nice blind guy we met?
Yeah.
He's dead as fuck. He went
I
in,
know.
tried to do his mission. He meant something to Sideshow. Sideshow is now very aware that he is very dead, and he is very mad that he is very dead. I've got him held back waiting to plan, but he's in on this shit, and he's got a veritable army of, well, whatever the hell those people were, ready to roll in as soon as we're ready to go.
I've fought the Lamenters before. Their resolve is strong, but not perfect.
No?
If you make enough of a show of killing whatever resembles a leader, some will falter. The rest will fight to the death.
So would we be making a statement or making a martyr?
It's hard to tell.
For what it's worth, as Morgan has been chatting more and more, she has just kind of subtly reached over and nudged the witch's hat in front of her. And she gives a nod and finally nudges it back in front of Callie.
The two-pronged approach does sound like a good idea. However, one thing that slightest goes wrong would alert the others to our predicament, which puts the hostages out in the open.
Well, then why not have two teams working on it?
Sound idea.
Meaning that, say that one team would be responsible for getting out the hostages, and other would be pointing at Sam, Captain Badass over there, can lead the front strike.
Not a bad. Okay.
Yes, I heard you when you lied the first time. But I believe that if we're able to ensure efficiency, things usually go with a 90% probability of succeeding, with variables being the other 10%.
Sounds logic. Two teams with two leaders in constant communication with each other does sound like something I would agree to. That way, the raiding party and the rescue party know exactly what's going on.
And there's little chance for getting cut at costs. You're not sure if all of the troops will go to the raiding party and not to the rescue party as well, so it'll protect them as well.
Keep in mind, If things go awry, and they no longer see a reason to keep the hostages, they will kill them. They have no compunctions about outright murder, whether or not those people can raise arms.
Morgan heaves kind of a shrug. I'm surprised they kept hostages at all, really.
Logically, it's a war, so there will be casualties. But the purpose of this is to save as many as we can.
And to murder the fuck out of some lamenters. Rod smile.
Thanatos' discomfort.
That's another question that I was going to put to all of you. She bites one of her nails. Are we killing them all, or are we letting some live? This needs to be decided so nobody starts to get excited once the bloodshed starts.
Do we have any direction from those above us?
Shake of the head.
I
Jinx shakes her head.
think the only one who said one way or another is Saisho plans to kill the lot. And I'm not opposing him on it.
Naturally, I will side with the decisions of my master.
I can't see where these people have done even the slightest
that
good.
Oh,
What do you think, Sam?
well, I'm not going to hold myself back against people that wish to see me dead, but I don't believe in that have surrendered.
So how about this, Callie? What if we give the option of surrendering?
Should not. If they refuse, then they're dead.
I'm gonna have to talk to Saisho about it. I don't think he plans to leave any of them alive.
Then we will talk to him as a group and that he is a head of a respective order to. If all of us say it, then he will obey.
That's what happens
I
when
feel
they're...
like obey is a harsh term,
Maybe we can negotiate.
but we can
The
meet with
higher
him.
ups in Lamentations, maybe they don't get the option, but the lowers, the trudgers, the drones in a sense, maybe they can get it.
Survivors
There's a
are a
hierarchy.
problem for the council. Oh, I'm sorry, Maya. I mistimed
Okay.
that.
No, it's okay. Basically what Lottie is suggesting is like maybe give the choice to the people on the lower rungs of the Lamentations hierarchy, but definitely kill off the higher people. It at least gives Saisho a chance for proper vengeance, but also gives the people on the lower rung the chance on whether or not they sign their own death warrant.
Suppose if they decide they were choristers after all, they're not lamenters and don't fall under the heading of people that need to die, are they?
Indeed, and sometimes
I
people can
think-
get lost in a cause, and they don't really realize until it's too late.
I say
Given
there
the
should be a
choice,
trial
they
for
do
the.
it.
I say there should be for a trial for the prisoners who decide to come over. If they're going to be taking that logic, then they must accept the responsibility of their actions.
Indeed. I second this.
At this point, Jinx will type out something on her trinary. What looks like a massive Word document. She starts taking notes, like, oh, okay. We're
It's
doing
called
this?
trinary word.
Yeah. And she starts like listening and like doot doot. Okay. So, suggestion. I don't see any hermetics here. And
They were not invited. They were not
oh.
invited.
Sassy.
There's a reason.
So So when the trial actually does happen, this is actually a 2-point, question. If we actually do have a trial, are we allowing the hermetics to stand as
Of course.
Oh,
There will be a representative of them
Mhm.
as per the law of the traditions,
okay.
but they will not have any further influence over how the trial goes. It shall be a trial of all of us together as our tradition heads. That's the only way it is fair.
All right, keep Dick in check. So, um,
I love her notes.
also 2 point question. The issue of how do I want to phrase this? The issue of what's Heather's character's name? It just went out of my head.
Yuki?
Yuki.
Yuki. There you go. The issue of Yuki. Are we paying any credence to her younger brother?
Yes, that is something I did want to raise, as she has both asked for my assistance in return for a favor, which she said that Sam and Lottie would undertake if she could not help.
Yeah.
She'll nod and say, I'm open to this, yes.
Second,
Wait,
Her actions should reflect on her brother.
He's an innocent
Especially
party
because
from what I
he
understand.
is
all right.
in the third party. He didn't deserve what happened. If he's still alive.
Here's the actual hard question. How are we feeling about Yuki at this point?
She's an
the
infernalist.
laws of my
Okay, we're coming in hot.
Sam
Here's
is
the
going
thing.
to say
Mm-hmm.
the
Sorry.
loss of extradition. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lottie.
No.
Sam's gonna go.
No. I'll do it after because the end is long. Go ahead.
Okay. Sam's gonna say, after quite a bit of time reflecting on the Chidana, reflecting on Yuki's karma, and reflecting on just punishments, assuming that the decision would fall upon me to decide what happens to her, there is only one decision that could possibly be made in regards to her crimes.
Okay.
The thing is, Yuki's agreement with Faust, it was done to help us fight what was a couple of months ago at fucking Fondi. It was done with good intentions, but she was told it was a bad idea and she still did it. And thus, she is responsible for her actions. No matter what happens, you can't exactly hurt Yuki. An archangel tried to fucking kill her and it didn't work. She's going to give birth to that thing. If she survives the birth or not, if we survive the birth or not, then we should deal with the problem. We can't put a judgment now because in the end of the day, we're not sure if she's going to survive that which is supposedly fated to happen. She wholeheartedly, with her entire soul, believes in her fate and doing this, and well, can't stop her. We can't.
And why does
stop
she not
her.
do the honorable thing and open her throat?
She can't.
Has she
Every
tried?
time something tries to hurt her, that angel or some being pops up and stops it.
Has someone tried
Like,
more than
garden-
once?
I'll be honest, this was something that I was told about by many of you directly. Is this not the case? Or has this only been tested once?
It's tested by an archangel. We haven't exactly had a chance to try to kill her.
Yeah.
Which is why if Saisho tries to kill her, we'll hear about it.
Like I said, we've seen it the one time. As far as Yuki, well, she chose her own fate and she condemned an innocent life in the process. However, until everything comes to fruition, it is still an innocent life so far. Until that day, it is an innocent life, and until that day, you have a chance to maintain it as an innocent life.
So Sam is actually going to raise her hand because that she just honestly looks a little bit confused.
Okay.
If I'm sorry guys. If we want to like get out of this subject, that's fine because we might go into some weird territory here.
Officially
I'm-
Black Dog hashtag.
Mhm.
but Sam's going to ask, we are considering this pregnancy an innocent life, essentially from conception onwards. Why is there the recommendation that she either commit suicide or otherwise?
Hold that point, Sam. Don't lose it. Is everyone okay with me sort of being impartial with the decision and keeping notes? Her eyes will just glance around the room.
Guys nods.
Yeah,
Right.
I
As
just shrug.
well.
Her eyes will then search to Kevin. Kevin, you've been quiet. What do you think?
My rank is not commensurate with any of yours.
No, I'm still asking for your opinion.
Miss Kimura was taken into custody by a member of the traditions, a tradition head no less. In all likelihood, her continued existence is because they're waiting for a proper time for her to stand trial before a council for her actions.
So everyone knows I was the one that brought her in. And got her, actually. But other than that, so, and sorry, my thoughts aside. Sam, what were you saying before I cut you off?
No, I
Think
don't.
I assume you were looking for an answer, yes?
Yes. It seems-
Ideally. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to mention she doesn't seem particularly salty when she's asking this. It seems pretty legit.
Mhm.
Like she's legit. Like just wanting to see where Morgan's coming from on it.
She'll hold up one finger. Ideally, an innocent life being able to be born innocent is preferable. She holds up the second finger. But things are not always ideal, and if the only way to prevent that soul from being damned is to cut it short and let it have another chance, so be it.
I would like to pose another question because, as Callie so bluntly put into the point, being that Yuki is indeed engaged in infernalist activities, being that we are the respective heads of our traditions and what we believe, how are we going to deal with the younger ones that are coming up behind us? Because I would rather we not start a pattern.
I think a trial would be best. Tonight never got their trial. They were just killed off the bat. We know what she did, but not everyone does. A trial is the best option.
There's a difference between what's happening with Danae and what Yuki did. She practiced infernalism. It was obvious.
Yes,
it's blatant.
But we know everyone does. Not everyone knows the choice that she made.
In the
end,
end,
trial will set the precedent that if you are accused of infernalism, there will be a trial to make sure that it is indeed infernalism. We know. But as an example to people below us.
Accused?
She has confessed, but in the end, I can see the point of a trial for... She kind of picks up her fingers, air quotes, appearances. Because there will be times that it is not so very blatant.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, she seems to be at peace with whatever comes her way as a result. So why not set the precedent that there will be a trial?
So this will be procedure moving forward? Scanning the room.
The only thing that Sam was going to say, I did want to add one thing to that.
Mm-hmm. What did Sam want to say?
Personally, a trial would be just fine, but there are many hardliners of many of our traditions that see such crimes as an internal issue rather than one that matters to the traditions as a whole.
It's a valid point.
Or a waste of time on an outcome that has already been decided and shown. A show trial is a show trial.
So
I understand
the
that this would be a show,
question...
but
Go ahead.
Kind of let I look at Callie. I understand this would be a show, but it would be a useful example. If you don't want to have it on your side, you don't have to be present. You could have somebody step in for you. But like, I would like it to be an example. I do agree with the fact that it might be seen as an internal thing. But if I remember correctly, Yuki was kicked out of the Euthanatos, and she was staying with me up until everything came to light. It's not an internal issue anymore. It's external between, I guess you would say, the Euthanatos and the Ecstatics. But her actions also deal with consequences to everyone.
Point of order. Sam, Yuki was indeed kicked out of the Euthanatos?
You're correct.
Okay.
So, this is. I am all right with the trial for this case. I just mean.
You cut out.
Of many of your other traditions, but I know that members of mine would prefer to deal with things like this themselves.
Perhaps have it made a case that in the case that the infernalism is internal, does not affect those from other traditions, it can be handled within the tradition. In the case where the effects of it begin to have consequences for the other traditions, there is a joint trial in the cases we're doing now.
Yes, that would be a good idea. No one looked into what the Hermetics did to Danae, and thus Danae went unpunished. The actions went unpunished for millennia. I would like that to not happen to anyone else. Yes, Yuki is defiantly guilty, but next group of people, we don't know. I want this to be justice, not vengeance.
All right. I'm going to be very open about this. Glasspaw has been very vocal about his opinions about Yuki. And when we do, inadvertently, whatever happens to Yuki, if she survives, the resulting will indefinitely be very decisive.
My response to that would be if there is somebody that disagrees with the decisions that the tribunal has made, there are ways of going about that, but going about killings, well, that can go very badly.
One might also make the case that Glasspaw has pointedly made an effort to shelter the Infernalist, if he really wants to go and make a stink about it.
I'm still trying to understand why we are debating a trial for someone who's guilty and not let the punishment be the example of what happens when you do infernalism.
The reason why we're having this debate is because I do understand your hard light stance. It's a stance that I have a great respect for. However, sometimes when the accused shifts through multiple individuals, such as Yuki currently, there's quite a few people that have an understanding of what she did and what she hasn't done. To avoid unnecessary flare-ups and all-out wars over things that can definitely be handled in a more passable way, I'm of the mind that if I can talk to you and see where you're coming from, I would at least like the chance to discuss before tempers flared, being that we're all extremely proactive individuals, as has been shown thus far.
Morgan will give a glance aside to Callie. In the end, it is setting the example of this is how trials will be run. If she confesses, she confesses, and it makes the whole thing much simpler. In fact, we know that she will confess, as she has done so on multiple occasions, but it still sets the standard. So that the next time someone walks up to our table and asks if we're all infernalists, we know that we will not just be taken out and burned at the stake for it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand my point, Callie, or am I being obtuse?
You know, I understand your point. I respect it. I may not agree with it, but I respect it.
No, I understand, and I accept your point to disagree. But I just want, I'd rather there not be. I think just the issues with the Lamenters so far has been a very painful case of what happens when extremism goes in one direction.
Lottie will nod. Mhm.
And at the very least, if there is a trial and she flat confesses to the crime, there can be no debate. There can be no coming back and saying, but you didn't hear it out. It is settled and done.
We're making sure that the case, to really back on what she's saying, is that we want to make the case as airtight as possible and less room for loopholes.
Just nods. Very well then.
Last thing I want to hear is somebody putting up their finger, but, no.
Mhm. And at the very least, we at least know what's the outcome. We don't know what the outcome is for every trial.
A finger will again kind of pop up, tangential to this. She'll glance over to Lottie. At the risk of sounding nosy, do we know for a fact who the proverbial baby daddy is? Because this might get very interesting.
It could be... Well, here's the thing. It could definitely be Sketch. Sketch is gone, though. He disappeared with his sister. It could be Gravedigger for all we know. It could be some random, disgusting experiment the technocrats did because they took her and then dumped her in a bus stop randomly 3 days later after she was taken from Leviathan. We don't know. She was 2 months pregnant when she got at the bus stop. I examined her.
I assume that she's continued, however, to mature at an incredibly accelerated rate.
Right now, she's about 3 months now. It's only been 2 weeks. Close to 4, I think.
Jesus.
I can run those tests if. I'm sorry, Lottie.
No. Thing is, she knows that she's probably going to die. She's okay with it. She at least wants she at least hopes that whatever happens ends well for everyone. She's got this weird new world kind of view on it being the apocalypse for the better. I think it's psychotic, but
I personally told her that if it came to pass that I would kill her to stop it.
He's getting her a bow, or I tried to get her a bow. She make a stand against Faust if she even survived the birth. Terrible, horrible idea. But at least she's willing to accept her punishment, what she deserves. So yes. Baby daddy's up to par. Faust has naming rights. Guess what name he's gonna pick?
Let me ask, does father really affect things other than, well, Yuki's piece about it?
There is the point in case that Gravedigger seems to be a perfectly capable person, and if it were his, there's a chance that he might take a vested interest in keeping the naming process from happening.
Stop the naming. The permission was already given.
There are all kinds of loopholes. The thing has to be born on a certain day at a certain time that is particularly auspicious. It's very possible that he could make an attempt to intervene if he believes that it's his own flesh and blood.
You can ask.
If
that's the plan.
It has to happen at a certain point. Why don't I just induce labor sooner?
You could try.
It's possible. I asked her. Here's the thing. Asking Yuki is like talking to a wall. She's of the mind that things have to happen on this day and nothing will stop it. So if you want to induce labor, I say do it now. Getting her permission, however, will be different.
At this point, I feel as though Yuki has signed away her rights to make decisions on this matter, because the decisions that she has made already have been decidedly poor.
We'd have to convince Daisha to even get close.
Are
I
we
can
saying
talk to Sideshow.
out of character, guys? I'm sorry, I gotta go back into Black Dog territory. Just Black Dog and Katie.
Do it.
Yep. We're talking about murdering a fetus. Let's go.
Yeah, Sam's gonna say. So does that mean that, in the case of a female mage that violates protocols or commits a hate crime, that revokes her bodily autonomy?
If we were to speak medically, this thing is going to kill her. It is a pregnancy that she is most likely not going to survive. There are many cases in which such a pregnancy happens where you do induce labor to make sure that the woman survives it. In these cases, the woman has bodily autonomy. That is a priority. One life does not equal the death of everyone. Plus, I don't even think it has a soul yet, so.
There's also the fact in case that apparently a name is a tangible thing that can be stolen.
Yep.
Which means that it is very possible that if one were to somehow acquire the name, he would not have it to give the child, would he?
I'm looking into that, how to do the naming before him.
That deals with magic that I don't really understand, I'll be honest.
There's a shrug. It's very openly there. I don't fucking know. Kind of shrug.
We don't have true names on Paradigm. What kind of bullshit is this? What Sam will say though is, I don't want to get it twisted. I do support trying to stop this, however, whatever it takes. However, assuming we do survive it, we might be setting a very uncomfortable precedent for our fellow mages.
If the uncomfortable precedent is that the survival of mankind comes before the survival of one woman, I don't feel that that is as uncomfortable as you think it is.
We can always make a statement. We are here mulling our heads over the decision. It's not an easy decision, but it is one that will make sure that people at least survive to September, whatever the fuck.
September 10th.
I plan to have a really, really, really nice, huge sushi platter in the evening of September 10th. I would like to keep those plans.
We have a good
survive
deal
one
of
way or
time.
another.
I feel that this issue with the Lamenters is going to come up before we need to worry specifically about this. So perhaps we should shift our focus back again.
So
we can
we're
always have
tabling-
another meeting.
Okay, so tabling this specific discussion for a later date.
Then a glance around to see if anyone protests.
Yes.
All right. So switching gears and going back to the Lamenters, is there anything else anyone else wants to add?
Is there any chance we could get a hold of choristers or others who have patronized that particular cathedral and can give us a layout? Are the blueprints public purview? Are they complete blueprints?
I've tried to pull up the blueprints, but it seems to be, at the very least, massive paperwork. It will take time to actually get a hold of them.
I'm happy to help.
And there's the potential that the Archbishop could provide some insight to things that may not, in fact, be on the blueprints.
I can look through Simon's library. He might have blueprints for it.
I could probably speed up that searching process for you there.
Yeah, I'll let you in. Someone's got to make sure that library stays in one piece while he's away.
So we have Saisho ready to be part of the siege team with his people. Has anyone else made any kind of decision on where they intend to be in the coming violence?
Well, more to the point, who would like to be on the front end and who would like to be on the rescue team?
can lead a raiding party as good as anybody.
Okay. Does anybody contest that?
I too will be part of the raiding party.
I am a
did you miss
sworn
that,
brother
Tim?
of the. Oh, what?
No, I
No,
was just no, I just heard Tim talking, and I just wanted to make sure, like, I didn't cut him off by accident.
no, it's all good. I'm laggy as fuck.
Okay. What were you saying, Bob? I apologize.
I am a sworn brother of the Akashiana. Blood will answer blood.
Okay.
I would be happy on either side. I'm more than welcome to be part of the raiding crew while making that machine to try to help the people who are rescuing. I'm handy with a bat, either way.
All right. I guess that leaves me on the rescue side. So,
Well, question. I feel like maybe we should distribute people, since probably we're going to need a good amount of life mages on both ends. Well, not life mages necessarily, but just ones that have the capability of healing wounds, really. I can see cases for any being needed on both ends.
These people might be tortured or worse. We're going to need someone with a heightened medical.
I can always ask Eliza. Her nanites are pretty fucking talented.
I can
She's also-
stabilize. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, she's just gonna say she's also, I think, head of the Aetherites, so she's a good option.
Yeah, Sam will nod and she'll say, I can't necessarily heal them magically, but I can definitely treat them, give them emergency care, and their wounds after the fact.
all right.
As long as it gets them out of the building, it's enough for the moment.
I have a question. The area around this church, is there any place where we can have a station, perhaps? An area where we can stake them out and potentially bring the surviving prisoners to it. If they've been tortured, we probably can't move them far, but if we can get close enough to maybe a warehouse or just a home in general, so we can heal them up, close enough where others can be of assistance, but far enough where we won't get them killed.
I can arrange for something to happen.
I would suggest fans, honestly.
I can arrange for something to happen.
This is going to be messy, but at least solve the problem.
Oh no, make no mistake. Some, if not all of us, might die.
Oh yes, but then it won't be their problem anymore.
It won't. Either way, it gets solved.
Number, I might be able to build some stuff up to help with people who are being needs to be rescued.
Okay. If anyone has any objections, I'll head up the rescue.
Kai just shrugs. Like, yeah, no, seems like a good option.
Yeah, Morgan kind of gives that, it's all you little gesture.
Morgan will get a wink back.
I suppose then, since my talents are better suited to what we are all also focused on rescuing.
It will give you time to find Yuki's twin as well, since you probably know what he looks like.
We know it's been done to him, so perceiving through the wounds might be easier.
I will need to meet with people who plan to go on the raid. We will need a layout. We'll need to see where we can enter cleanly without too much. Perhaps in addition to Glass Paw's tracking, we will need to see what magical protections are around that church as well, because I suspect, knowing these things, they've got an amount of wards already prepared. It is better to go in this at least somewhat prepared if we are planning to just burst in.
I do have one question to bring to the council here. Who was going to be asking the Hermetics to join us. Not here, but like during the battle.
I can do it if you like.
Do you think they'll really be helpful? Or will they keep asking questions about which of us are infernalists?
D'Onofrio will be helpful. D'Onofrio is very helpful. The others, I've never really had good relations with the exception of one who passed away a couple of months ago.
Jinx will put a finger on her nose and say, "Not it."
I
Gee,
can do
thanks.
it. Yes. Sam basically says, "I'll do it if need be. I don't have many of the personal misgivings a lot of us have about medics."
Morgan, too, will put a finger on the end of her nose, saying, I'm not against all the traditions being involved, but if that cripple comes in and steps up one more time, I'm going to break that knee properly.
Which one is that?
It
There's so
wasn't-
many who are...
If he has issue, I will raise it with him. It was my hospitality he broke. That'll be a matter I will raise myself.
The Mighty Founder spit someone?
Makes a scrunchy
Is it
noise
that?
at Callie.
The Mighty Founder
It's
spit
just-
someone? What did they do?
No, he insulted myself, Morgan, and Collins in my home. Proceeded to accuse me of things. If he
Of course
wishes
they
to have an
did.
issue, if he wishes to have an issue, I will do this the proper way, and he can challenge the proper way.
Mm-hmm. Please allow me to sell popcorn during that challenge.
Let's
Public
not be
events will
messy,
help
buddy.
with the honor. Anyway.
We also have to
Okay.
charge for the betterment of the city.
Callie will spread her
Yes,
hands. It
yes,
is a
yes.
minor. It is a minor issue from a minor fool. It is nothing to concern ourselves with at this time. Our greater concern is if the Hermetics want to be involved, we need to have them on the table, but we also need to have an understanding with them that they won't overstep their boundaries.
Good luck. To Sam, D'Onofrio is kind of out of the country. She's coming back, I think, in about like a few days. We text. I can try to arrange a meeting with her for you. I don't know the others well. I'd rather you go straight to a head of some sort and ask than
I can
talk
go as
to
well.
one of you.
I can go as well. If Sam needs someone to support her and a bit more
Both
of
of
a
you.
blunt weapon.
I will accompany Ms. Cotry.
I believe we don't need all of us going, so 3 people sounds sufficient.
Yeah, we can go and be the squad, you know? Good cop, bad cop, Viking cop.
So bad decision, worst decision, and the one where you don't die. I like it. So sufficient. I'm done.
Okay, and we're not Hermetics, so we'll be good.
Is there anything else we need to
And
discuss
Mario.
this evening? Sorry.
No, it's okay, and then send a text.
I think this is enough, at least, for us to get moving. Who is going to be checking out the magics surrounding the cathedral?
I got you.
There's a nod.
Mm.
Whatever else may be happening, those who intend to come in on the raid are welcome to. She just slowly spreads the toothy smile. Join us in preparing.
Yay. I'll fix up my bat. And
For
super taser.
bitches and beer, talk to Verbena. Period.
What does it say?
For bitches and beer, talk to the Verbena.
Her notes are the best notes.
There's 2 things I want to add. Jinx, if you needed any like support for scouting out the cathedral, just in case shit went sideways, I got you there. Also, I don't want to do too much of it, and doing a large blessing would be not very good. But I think Callie My Callie. Like looks over to Callie like to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
Might be able to give us some assistance with this.
Okay.
And if we might be able to do something a bit stronger too if either of the Verbena are
Kali is your god. Kali is your god of death. Yes.
yes, and
Then
evil.
then the person you need to speak to in regard to communicating with beings of the underworld is me.
Yep. Morgan even makes a subtle little pointing gesture, nibbling on her Pop-Tart.
Alrighty. If we can get something, if we can cast a strong enough blessing the fights to come.
Still nod.
Wait, what did Sam say?
Oh, out of character, she basically offered to cast some entropy bullshit on everybody to make the combat diffs like 3.
Oh,
down.
girl!
Shit, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. So, Jinx will pop out a USB, toss it to Lottie, and say, "Make sure that the Aetherites get a hold of us." Yes.
Liza will go to dinner. She'll put it in her pocket.
Just so she's up to date with the notes that have happened, i.e., just tell Max to watch the scene.
Yeah, you've got your note. I've got your notes, and I'm also gonna tell her what I heard, my views on things. This will be fun.
Oh boy. Yeah. I will make sure word gets out. At any rate. Is there anything else to discuss? And turning back to Sam, I will be more than happy to accept your assistance. We go way back, destroying the Fondus and all that.
Thumbs up.
I said we go way back, destroying the Fondus and all that.
Thumbs up and smiles. We'll say there's for me.
Say
You're
what?
you're lagging, Tim.
My bad. She said she said she's good.
Cool.
Yeah, Blooddy's gonna look at Callie and be like, "Thank you for having us. It was important for us to all to get together and actually for this." Go Team Pagan.
Nod.
Alright. I'm gonna go head home and tell Liza what's good. I'll figure something out for the white noise machine.
Here.
And then
Be
for
a little
maybe
pain in
some
the ass.
healing.
Man, these Pop-Tarts, though, fucking
Delicious
delicious.
Pop-Tarts. So, with that, Jinx will kind of pull out Mario Kart and say, "Oh, we're not done yet. Okay, sorry."
I don't know how quickly we can move on this, but Solstice is coming. Might as well make use of auspicious times as we can.
I will commune with
Which
with
solstice?
my mother.
Summer.
Summer already passed.
Summer solstice is on June 21st.
It's July. It's July.
It's July.
It's July. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Never mind. I'm just going to nix all that I just said because that's Dumb as fuck, and I totally forgot it was July. Fuck me.
Carly will just say very calmly, I will
Sorry.
commune with my mother. I will commune with my mother. See what the dead say.
Okie dokie. Sam, when would you be available to come with me to have my back?
Sam lists off a time.
Gotcha. I want to bring Glasspaw with me with this, so I think both of us, before we go on that, we need to have a sit down with him before and let him know. But other than that, then we have to essentially do the thing. And after that, I can definitely let people know once we have actual information to give them. Does that sound fair to everyone?
Carly nods.
Noddle, noddle.
Noddle, noddle. Looking over at Ken, who's been decidedly quiet.
Kevin,
Kevin, sorry.
it's okay. Just looks at the rest of them, looking at him like, what? I told you, my ranking's incommensurate.
All right, sweetie. Your opinion. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Dara, her eyes dart around the room, seeing that there's nothing more to add. I would like to get drunk. Who would like to join me?
I can do drunk.
Mhm.
Not the first.
Looking over at the assembly.
I'll go next.
Callie gets the beggy face. Like, come on, can we get drunk? Come on, come on, come on.
You can go. Should any of you use weapons, handheld, blunt, or melee, or blades or anything, I can provide poison.
Happy squirm.
I didn't hear what Torna said, sorry.
I can provide poison for your knives and shit, essentially.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna text you later.
You can go and get drunk, Morgan. I will keep the shop open.
There will be a distinct pouty face.
Alright,
I'll drive. Everyone else who's coming with me, feel free to jump in.
okay, this thing is ending, so I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Okie dokie.
Would you guys like to call it here? With them starting to kind of break apart, people piling in for drinkies and whatnot? We can always do another scene if people want to like go to Agrabah Nights or whatever have you. But should we call at least the meeting scene over?
Yes.
Yes. So, with that, I will say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. And yes, disseminate our information and plotting, yes. And we will see you next time in Darkness in Dublin, the Mage venue.